it's funny you said it because I'm watching all these idiots and fools and jackasses on ESPN, and it bothers me every year because they use this analogy because it gets back to the NBA. They're like, well, LeBron was the best player. Yes, he was. But Derrick Rose was better that year. Well, Karl Malone won MVP. He was better than Michael Jordan that year. They have these arguments every year about the MVP. And now they got a really cool one coming up in the NFL, which has always been my argument. Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the world. But if you don't think Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry are the MVPs, Josh Allen, if you don't think one of those, I love Josh Allen. He's probably one of my favorite players. If you don't think one of those four players is the MVP, you don't know anything about sports. I get so annoyed when these guys like, well, LeBron should have won it. Like, no, he don't. It goes to the guy having the best season. It's not the guy who's the best player. We all know Patrick is the man. But Josh, Lamar, Derrick Henry, Jared Goff, those four guys, and let me tell you something, I'm glad I don't have a vote because you talk about putting names in a hat and just pulling one, because any one of those four guys, like I say, but it annoys me when these fools on these other networks talk about, well, this guy, he's the best player. It's not who's the best player. It's the guy who's having the best season. And those four guys are having a better season than Patrick. Yeah. And Patrick he's the best quarterback. He might go down as the best ever. But for this year, those four guys, and let me tell you something, I don't know who I would pick between Derrick Henry and Lamar either. That's a tough one. But Jared Goff, man, it's some. I don't understand why that guy gets no respect. He gets zero respect.
Yeah, no.
He led a team to the Super Bowl. They're like, you're not good enough. Then that team brings in Stafford and they win the Super Bowl and they just crap on him even more. He just keeps his head down in Detroit, get him to the NFC Championship game. They should have won that game. Now he's got him with probably the best team. I hate that Hutchinson kid. Yeah. That Hutchinson kid was one of my favorite players. Shout out to Aiden Hutchinson, man. That kid, man, his motor, it was ridiculous. I hate he broke his leg. But, man, Jared Goff, nobody ever give that kid any credit. I'm proud of him for handling it.
Do you think that you had a better year than Jordan when you won the MVP?
Yes. Hell yes. We had the best record. We had the best record in the NBA that year.
Yeah.
Yes. And was he a better player than me? Yes, he was. But that year, the Phoenix Suns had the best record in the NBA. And so, like I say, and listen, Derrick Rose, shout out to Derrick Rose, great career, man, great dude. But the year he won MVP, the Chicago Bulls, they had the home court against the Cavaliers, that people forget. But it's the guy having the best season. It's not the best player. And them clowns and fools on other networks, when I said fools and clowns, I mean ESPN and Fox. They're like, well, it should go to the best player. I'm like, well, okay, that's your opinion. That don't make you right.
I can tell you this now. I didn't vote for you for MVP that year.
Did you vote me second?
Yeah.
I can live with that. See, I should have won the MVP in '88.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson, we had the closest vote in the history of the NBA. So I had a great year in Philly. I think that's one of the years I averaged like 28 points and I led the NBA in rebounding. And I knew I had a great year and I knew it was going to come down to the wire. But what really bothered me, and that's why we should have some of these fools accountable, because I think I beat him in first place votes, and then I didn't get any other votes. And I was like, well, wait a minute. How can I you got to put me first or second, worst case scenario third.
Wow.
And at the time, it was the closest vote in NBA history. And I was so mad. I says, hey, I don't mind losing the award, but y'all just like I say, I'm at least second, worst case scenario third.
Dang.
And I was really pissed.
Sounds like you're still really pissed.
Dan, our job on television is to be fair and honest. One of the reasons fans might disagree with me, But no fan has ever said to me, hey, you know what? You took personal shots at a guy or you have a personal vendetta against a guy. No fan, no player. Every player who calls me when I criticize him, I say, yo, let me explain why I said that. Because players and agents call me all the time. And I'll be honest with them. I say, dude. But you know what I hate about the players and the agents, Dan? They never call me when I say something good about their player. It pisses me off. It really pisses me off.